Hey guys, good morning. Chad here, joining you from the Great White North. I'm up here in Michigan. We just had an ice storm. So I told you guys I was going to do another video today. So I wanted to cover an issue I've seen popping up on the Tippman Owners Group forum on YouTube quite a bit lately. And that is failure to feeds on the Tippman M4 22 long rifle. I've seen every suggestion out there, from use a different ammo to, clean your gun, lube it up, don't lube it, everything in between. My experience has told me, from the thousands of rounds I've put through my Tippman, thousands, hundreds of thousands possibly. Anyway, probably what your issue is. And there's a couple other videos out here on YouTube about it, so I just wanted to cover it today. And that is loading the magazine. Sounds super duper simple. I mean, it's a fairly easy mag. Everybody's seen their Tippman mags. They're great mags. I love the construction on them. I love the way they're made. They got this great assist to pull the plunger down. But therein lies some of the issue with this, is folks tend to want to pull this down, flop their cases in, and they get what's called rim lock. And when that happens, it's the way the rounds stack on top of each other. It'll cause a feeding issue every time. So I'm going to turn the camera around, put us in a little bit better position, and see if I can help you see this. We'll also go over this new speed loader and how that's going to eliminate that issue for you, okay? The problem with the 22 long rifle is it is a rimmed cartridge. Obviously, you have a little rim there. That's what carries the primer compound. Obviously, that's where the firing pin hits, and that's what makes this round go off. It's also one of the things that causes issue with trying to load them in a magazine. What can happen is when they're loaded into the magazine, if you're looking at it like this, let's say that this end's going into the gun, that's the way they should stack. If you try to rush the order, what'll happen is that rim will get locked behind the other rim below it, and you'll have issues with it feeding in. So these are 308s. The reason 308s don't have this problem is because that's a rebated rim, okay? They can slide past each other very, very easily. So no matter what way you load them into your magazine, this is a PMag for a 308, they can always slide past each other, no problems, right? The problem with this, the Tippman mag, is if you're not careful and you pull down and you just start shoving rounds in here, they can get rim locked, okay? So I'm going to try and induce, well, there's a great example of a issue of doing that. All right, yeah, get it out. Anyways, so even if you watch the video on loading these, the idea is, hold it upright, but you can do it this way. Sliding in one round, sliding it back all the way, taking a little pressure off the spring, using the other round to push the initial round back. That way you don't get rim lock. Because the problem will be if you leave, I'm going to try and do this off camera real quick. Yeah, I'm having, maybe I got it. The problem can be is that if you have those rim locked, when that bolt comes forward and catches the back of that round, pushes it into the chamber, it's actually locked behind this round and trying to push this one through the front of the magazine. That's why they get caught up. So that's 99% of the times reason that I've ever had any issue with my Tippman. What can I tell you? If you're loading this thing by hand, just be knowledgeable of that. You just want to pull down so there's just a tiny bit of slack. Slide that bullet back all the way. A little bit of slack. Use this bullet to make sure that you push the other cartridge back all the way by its rim. Rinse and repeat. If you do that, my experience has told me that you shouldn't have any issues with any ammo. I've shot everything from subsonics to hypersonics to everything in between. The dirtiest, the cleanest, the most expensive, the cheapest rounds. And I very rarely ever had an issue with my Tippman loading. That would also explain with the rim lock why you see those bullets casings actually folded. What I mean by that is you'll see where it looks like your bolt has come over and it's actually bent. It's partially pulled the actual bullet away from the casing and it looks bent. That's because it can't come out of the magazine all the way. So the bolt will come over, push it initially, get it about halfway up, and then it slides over and catches the case about midway up, folds it against the feed ramp. So yeah, I hope that helps a little bit. Now, if you want to avoid all that and you're a heavy shooter, you go out plinking a lot, or you shoot competition, or you shoot with your kids, you're always there loading magazines, you probably want or have a number of these magazines. I keep 4. For me, I'm in competition. I technically only need 1. But I like having spares, and I always carry 2 mags up to the line with me. I always change out mags just so I never make the mistake of running out. But if you want to avoid all these issues, what you can do is you can buy one of these. This is the Tippman Speed Loader. This also works on Mad Dog magazines, and those are for the Smith & Wesson 1522. So I have had luck loading the Smith & Wesson M&P 1522's mags with this. You kind of have to stand on one leg, hold the magazine, at a specific angle, but you can get them to load. I'm not saying go and buy one of these for your Smith & Wesson. There's better options out there. Who is it? McFadden Industries makes one that will load that for you. But if you have one of these and your buddy's got a Smith & Wesson there sitting next to you, you can help him out. Don't be a dick. Actually help him load his magazines, because he's going to get jealous once he sees you use this, okay? So real simple. If you haven't used one of these yet, you open up this box right here. You grab a handful of ammunition, drop it in there, give it a little shake. Again, this is very, very similar to the McFadden Industries that came out a number of years ago, and the guys that have the 1022s can speak to those things. Are awesome. Actually, I got one here behind me for the old man for his 1022. I can show you that in a minute. But pretty simple. All you do is you'll notice the bullets are actually facing that way. So you want to take the magazine, make sure you load it in the correct way. There's even a release there. Just snap it in nice and tight. And if you watch the mechanism, what it's doing, make sure I'm turning it the right way, is it is actually, there's a finger coming in behind that shell and pushing it back down into the magazine. And it's just that fast. Boom, 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 boom. See if we can do it from this side. Maybe you can get a better picture. See, there's that little arm, comes over, grabs a bullet, shoves it back right into the magazine. Just like that. So what it's doing is it's actually using one round to push the previous round down and back, avoiding any issues with rim lock. I think it's great. This thing's awesome. I mean, I can sit here, and these are 25 round magazines. And there we go, we're full. Hit your release, pull it out. Let's double check, make sure we're full. Here you can see, all lined up, perfectly stacked and staggered. I promise, I absolutely promise, that if you start using one of these loaders, you will not have any issues with loading in your Tippman. Unless you've shot 20,000 rounds through it and didn't bother putting any carb cleaner or scraping off the fouling or something like that. If you even do just a little bit of modest upkeep on your Tippman, this thing will make your day. Okay. Give me just a second. I'm going to grab the McFadden loader for the 1022s and show you that real quick as well. Okay, for you 1022 guys. Wow, I got to trim my beard. This is getting pretty bad. For you 1022 guys, this is the McFadden. I think they call it the grip loader or something like that. Anyway, you can buy these on eBay. You can go directly to their site. But the same basic principle. It has a mechanism here that goes up, hits the bullet, pushes the bullet down and back into the magazine. I will say this, when you buy the McFadden, you do have to be careful. It will not work with stock 10-round factory 1022 magazines. It will, but what you have to do is this piece is an adapter, and there's a number of different adapters that you can purchase. I don't want to break dads, but there's a number of different adapters you can purchase so that it'll work on different magazines. But this thing's fantastic too. I don't know if you've ever loaded a high capacity 1022 magazine, but it's a long day. Now, I will suggest that you do go to the Butler Creek hot lips. The hot lips have the steel feed lips on them, and these seem to work fantastic, okay? The only thing that my dad has noticed is that he's actually marked his for 20 rounds. It is a 25 round. But for some reason, we have issues with feed if we load this down all the way. The first couple rounds tends to, it's not every time too, it's intermittent, but if you only load it to 20, works flawless every time, and that's more than enough, quite frankly. And for competition, he carries 4 of these, so it's not a big deal. I think it might have to do with the spring tension, possibly being that stretched out. I don't know. All we know is it works this way, so that's the way we do it. But again, these are pretty simple. You can see that the bullets run this way, so you would put the magazine in like so. There's a little lock right here. You lock that in, and then you literally do it this way. Sorry. Oh yeah, sure. Make a fool out of me now. There you go. Click, 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 and we're to our mark. And we can go a couple more. There we go. That's it. That's as fast as you ever need to go. Unclip it, pull it out, fill your hopper back up. These things are awesome. They really are. So if you're doing a lot of shooting, you're in the competition, this is great. Or you do a lot of plinking. Like I said, you're out with the kids in the backyard and you tend to do a lot of plinking. These are awesome. These Butler Creek mags, I've been very, very happy with how these perform. I bought these for my dad when we ordered the McFadden loader because I knew that these worked with the McFadden loader. And yeah, huge difference. I mean, he's got, usually when you're at a competition, you spend in between rounds, in between your turns, you spend the majority of your time loading. If you can do anything to reduce that time so that you can relax, watch the other shooters, attend to other issues, problems, concerns, the better off you are. You can relax. Everything's loaded for the next station. Have a drink of water, sit in your chair, watch the other guys make fun of each other, whatever you're going to do, have fun with it, is beneficial. So, and it's pretty good flex too. These are awesome. The Tippman, initially when I got mine, it was $100. I seen they had a sale on not too awfully long ago. I believe they were $79 a piece. For me, it's a great deal. For you, you'll have to determine whether $80 to $100 to reload faster is worth it to you. So, well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was a little bit insightful. I hope that it makes sense why you may be having issues with your Tippman and why you see so many people replying back on the Facebook page that you need to look at how you're loading your magazines. It really does make a big difference. I'm not going to blame Tippman for it because they warn us when we purchase it and you read through your owner's manual. Yes, I actually read through the owner's manual. That would be an issue. And, every time my nephew borrows my gun, wants to go out and shoot it, he has the same issue because he's in a hurry. He's a kid. He drops that follower down, starts chucking ammo in there, gets 3-4 shots in, it's rim locked. I don't know what to tell you. It's a given. It's a known. So as long as you know it, avoid it. Well, guys, it's been great. Hey, please like, subscribe, comment. Tell me if there's something else you'd like me to do, something you'd like to see on, the Tippman, the PCC, anything else like that. It's just getting in the shooting season. We're just getting ready to get back and start doing competition again. I think my first shoot is going to be beginning of next month, March, sometime. If it's not too cold, we're not under a sheet of ice here. Even then, I'll probably still go out and shoot, quite honestly. It's been too long. But, if there's other tech or information, or if you guys would like to see something very specific in shooting, we are going to have access now to a 300-yard range. I'd like to get out there this spring, maybe use the drone a little bit, do a little experimenting. I got Pops' 308. That's pretty well set up now. We might do a little bit with that. I am going to be reloading for 9mm and 45, so hopefully I'll have my presses and things set up for that here pretty soon. I am not going to be the reloader that is going for maximum charge plus P loads. I am, in fact, going to be working the opposite way. For shooting Steel Challenge, I want the slowest, heaviest, least recoil that I can do. So I'm going to be more on the lines of attempting that. I want something that barely ejects out of the gun but cycles flawlessly. So we could do something on that. If there's other items, accessories, something like that you want to look at, throw it in the comments. Let me know. Hit me up on Facebook. I'm not real hard to find, guys. But hey, remember, like, subscribe, share, send it out. And also, I am over on Rumble now with YouTube cracking down on gun content so tough. A lot of times, again, I had no rifles, no firearms at all shown on this, just so I don't have to worry about getting another strike. If you guys go through my library, you know that I did a trigger job. Well, I didn't even do a trigger job. I just showed you how to pull fire control group out of an AR and put it back in. Yeah, I got a strike for that. So anything like that, I'm going to try and upload on Rumble, although I will admit right now I'm having a heck of a time getting videos to upload to that platform, so I'm working on that right now. But look for that in the near future anyway. But again, guys, thank you so much. Thanks for listening in. If you need anything, let me know. Take care.